Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For a radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those joining us online worldwide via our podcast at iHeartRadio on Amazon Music, we're glad you all could be with us as well. But for us in Mississippi, school actually started last week, if you can believe it. So many Americans, though, across the country are bracing for the financial pinch that comes with this upcoming back-to-school season, especially when taking into consideration stubborn inflation and the high cost of living. Well, joining us today, we're excited to welcome back Courtney Alev to our broadcast. Courtney is a financial expert and consumer advocate for Intuit Credit Karma. She's going to help you guys with some tips for parents and students to navigate the financial cost of the back-to-school season. Courtney, always a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks again for the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, look, you were a lot of help for us when it came to tax season, so we know this is a perfect time for us to be able to talk to you when it comes to the financial cost of the back-to-school season. So as we're heading into this season, how can parents save money while purchasing all the new things their kids need for the school year?
So we know that the back-to-school shopping season can be really expensive. In fact, a recent Intuit Credit Karma study showed that 44% of parents are dreading back-to-school shopping this year because of those high costs. And over half are actually expecting to spend more this year than they have in prior years. So if this is you and you're stressing about that shopping, what can you do? The first thing you really want to do is assess what you might already have and then prioritize accordingly. Your child's school might send home a supply list. There you can see what you've already got. And then from there, you want to track your spending and create a budget for that back-to-school shopping. Really try to the best of your ability to see how much can you afford to spend on that shopping this year. And you want to be really careful to take into account what your child truly needs versus what they just might want. I know when I was a kid, I always wanted a new lunchbox or a new backpack, but didn't always necessarily need one. And then once it's time to actually do that back-to-school shopping, you want to get crafty with how you're sourcing those school supplies. Be sure to shop around, check different deals. You can buy refurbished electronics like laptops or tablets if your child needs one to save some money. And really want to make sure to check with your school to see if there are any resources available to you. For example, there's some community programs out there that actually provide free electronics to those who qualify. So you want to make sure to check out all your options.
That's a really great tip, Courtney, here in Mississippi. I know in our school system they do offer that with the electronics. So that is a great tip for audience to keep in mind. Unfortunately, though, this is a time, Courtney, where some families end up going into debt trying to get what they need. What should they do about that if they have to take on that debt?
Yeah, if you're worried about needing to take on debt for back-to-school shopping this year, you are not alone. Our same survey found that over a third of parents are actually planning or expecting to need to take on debt. And half are actually worried about giving up other necessities, things like groceries or bills, just to be able to afford back-to-school shopping. And that doesn't even include after-school programs, things like sports or clubs, which can also really add up. And we see another third of parents expecting to take on debt. So if this is you, as tempting as it might be, really try to avoid to the last minute going into credit card debt. Try to exhaust all of the other resources and options available to you first. That could be tapping your inter-network for hand-me-downs or shopping secondhand. And if you do need to swipe that credit card, make sure to make a plan to be able to repay it as soon as you can. And if you want to take advantage of a repayment plan such as buy now, pay later, make sure that you're making all of those payments on time and in full.
Great tip there. Last thing I want to talk to you about, Courtney, these are all great tips, are about college students. I know my nephew is a senior this year, so of course he's already thinking about college. Some are starting college this year. What tips can you offer for college students and their parents who are struggling to balance the cost of their supplies with their dorm room essentials as well?
Yeah, shopping for college can be really intimidating. It's all of these new expenses. So you want to be sure to shop smart. You mentioned that dorm room. There are a lot of options. First, you want to see what you have at home that maybe you could send with your nephew or folks could send with their child. Maybe there's extra bedding, extra kitchen appliances. And then you can shop secondhand for other options like thrift stores or online marketplaces for some gently used furniture or that mini fridge that he just has to have. And then another huge expense for a lot of college students are just textbooks. So you want to check with your campus to see if they offer resources such as a used book program. You might be surprised at how much you could potentially save. And then those school supplies that we all need, whether it's high school, elementary school, or college, take advantage of those back-to-school sales that are really prevalent this time of year. And if you're shopping in-store, some retailers like Best Buy or Target may even match competitor prices at the register. So you want to do some research and shop around before you go shopping. And lastly, don't forget to ask if retailers offer student discounts. There's some major tech brands like Apple, for example, that can offer a 15 to 20% discount for students, and those savings can really add up when you're shopping for college.
Yeah, really great tips there. Again, everyone, financial expert Courtney Alev has been our guest, helping you guys with those back-to-school expenses that all of us are thinking about. Make sure you guys head over to creditkarma.com. That's creditkarma.com for more tips as well. And, Courtney, thank you again for spending some time with us. Really do appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our Music and Youth segment here at WYAD. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.